Um, Welcome, everyone. Super excited to be with you today. This is the first official worldwide progress party from Rapid Progress, and I'm especially excited to have three amazing women with me today. Some of you are aware that very recently, in a prelude to kick off a new 12-week program that I'm offering, I decided to offer three progress scholarships and a chance to work with me one-on-one and be able to really go after a goal and have me working with you twice a week to be able to identify the next right steps to that goal and be able to help you enjoy that process and be good to yourself along the way. So I ended up speaking with more than 30 of you who were interested in doing this. And I had three scholarships to give. So just this last week, I awarded them to the three lovely ladies that you see here. We've got Karen in San Diego. We've got Elizabeth in Durham, North Carolina. And we've got Nicole in Johannesburg, South Africa. So yeah, so welcome, ladies. Congratulations. Thank you for being here today. I wanted to be able to not only introduce you, but give you a chance to kind of share why you wanted to apply for the scholarship, what it is that you would like to create, and anything that you're feeling about this at the outset, because we haven't started our 12-week adventure just yet. We are starting this week, in some cases tomorrow, but I thought it would be really fun to get a sense of just where you are right now, because that is exactly where we begin for any adventure, any goal. And so I'd love to just hear from you. And Karen, do you mind kicking us off? Figure we can just go clockwise. That works for you?
Yeah, perfect. So hello, everyone. And I am so excited to be working with Amy on this scholarship. And my story is I moved across country kind of on a whim to start a new adventure, and in that process decided also to change careers. So I've had this long transition time of not a solid income, which put me in debt more than I've ever been in my life, which is kind of embarrassing for me. I usually have my act together, and I'm also starting my own business. So I'm trying to generate revenue, clients, and all of that. So trying to figure out the money aspect of getting out of debt while I don't have a really good source of income just yet, and how to build my clientele so I can support myself and pay off my debt. Seems like a really big task, but I know with Amy's help that we are going to get there, and not just get there, but enjoy the process of getting there. So I'm really excited.
Yay! Yes, this is so important, right? Because for this to be something that's sustainable, that we, keep doing in our lives, it's got to be something that we actually enjoy and is a good time, right? And so thank you so much for sharing that, Karen. I would love for you to just real quick share what your business is and what your passion is around it, because I really enjoyed hearing about that when you shared it with me.
Yes. So I have a long time experience in my career field of marketing. But when I moved to California, through the process of moving out of my home, staying with my mom for 9 months, I discovered that I really have a passion for organizing and helping others get organized. And once I came to California, I crossed paths with a wonderful store called the Container Store, and opportunities came about for me to partner with them and be an organizer for their customers. And I wasn't searching for this new career. It actually reached out and found me, and is bringing me into this new reality. And so I'm learning as I go, and am amazingly excited about the opportunity and all that I can bring to what is happening here. So very excited.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I relate to that so much. And about, the opportunity coming to you and life just unexpectedly taking a different path. I love that. And I'm super excited to work with you and build this. Thank you so much for sharing that. Elizabeth, we'd love to hear from you. And again, what prompted you to want to apply for the scholarship? What's been going on? How you're feeling about everything?
I'm a hot mess.
Oh, I love it.
That's how I feel.
On hot. Yes.
I just I'm just trying to get ready. I'm the same way as Karen, where it's just overwhelming amount of debt, more than I am used to, way more than I'm comfortable having, and want to learn some tools to not have this happen again. And like you, it seems insurmountable right now. I know it's not, but it just feels that way, you know. I'm one that I like to have things done, see results, and when I don't, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this. So, yeah, I'm a little scared. Um, I don't want to let Amy down, and I don't want to let myself down. And I just want to have a little bit of a different outcome this time. So I've gotten to where I was debt free, and then it all just started again. So it's obvious that it just needs to learn some different tools to live a little bit better. So.
Yeah. Oh, so many of us relate to that, though. You know, I feel like debt is such a common thing, and it's cyclical too. And there's certain times in our life when, you know, it's just, oh, look at you getting business done.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I so appreciate what you said, and I appreciate you being so honest about being a little bit afraid. And certainly you are not going to let me down. Just by virtue of showing up, that is enough. And showing up is a tiny victory in and of itself, because I don't care what goal you're going after or who you are. It is an act of courage to say that you want something different in your life and to commit to going about that. And at the outset of any adventure, going after any goal, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, and we don't know what's going to come up. But that's why I love this work and teaching progress mapping, because it's a way for us to be able to find ways to move toward our goal no matter what. And like has been mentioned, enjoy the process, be super kind and loving to ourselves in the process. So yay for that. Super excited to work with you.
There she is.
Yay. And so then we've got Nicole from Johannesburg. Love to hear from you.
Hi. Well, again, very nervous. First time on anything like this, so please forgive me.
Look at you. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Look at all of you. We're doing
it. But I'm super, super excited. And when I got the email and I looked at this whole scholarship thing, and I just thought, I've never won anything. It's probably pointless, but I'm going to do it anyway. And as I started writing and typing, and I was like, I just knew that it was for me and that I'm ready. And I've spent the last year, literally an entire year, just working on myself, like my inner self, and figuring things out. And I'm ready now to just put it all together. And yes.
Yes, it is time.
Yes.
It is time to set off on the adventure. So I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to get started with y'all. And for any of you that are just joining us, these ladies are winners of the Progress Scholarship that I recently offered. And yes, that's right. And we're going to be setting off on this 12-week adventure. We're going to be meeting twice a week, having video chats, and I'm going to be working with them one-on-one to help them identify the next right steps in the direction that they want to go and to achieve their goals. So it's really fun for me to be able to offer this to you. And also, oh, look at you. One of the first things that I asked them to do was to print out the 10 swirl hearts. That is the 10 swirl heart map that we are, and you already have your other one up too. Yeah, that's one of the brilliant things about progress maps is they work if you can see them. So I encourage everyone, if you're using a map, you print it out and put it somewhere where you can see it every day as much as possible. So beautiful. Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm excited to work with you. And I am going to let you go, or you're welcome to hang out. But I'm going to see if I can get Amy Pearson and have a little chat with her. So thank you so much. So good to see your faces.
Good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see. Will we be meeting again, like all four of us?
4 weeks from now, y'all are going to see each other again, just like this. Yeah, and we're going to see how you're doing.
Take a good look now. Take a good look at the pictures. And then in 4 weeks, how much lighter you'll look, how much less
right?
stress you'll have.
Right?
Okay. All right.
I love it. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So I'm going to bid you adieu. And there we go. Okay. Now, Amy, want to see if I can welcome you back in the chair. So Blob's fun. It allows us to have conversations with up to 4 people at a time. And with these progress parties, these are going to be happening every Wednesday in January. And sometimes I will have special guests, other mappers who are sharing their stories, sharing what's been going on for them, what has worked well for them, anything that is challenging or coming up. And then also there's an opportunity for you all to ask me questions. And you can do that, something as simple as typing in on the side. You see you can send me messages. You can also ask me questions. I'm going to get right back to that. And let's hope that we've got Amy coming in brilliant 4-color surround sound. Amy, are you there? I see you. Yes! Look at you. Oh, we did it. Look at how technologically advanced we are.
That's weird. It's going the opposite than what I think I'm going. All right. Okay. Anyway.
Welcome.
Let me frame my face up here. Okay.
Do it. I know, right? Slide the chair.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
So, hi. I love the color of your jacket, by the way.
My new Christmas present, and it's so cozy. I just want to wear it like all the time.
Yeah. No, cheers to that. You guys, super excited to have Amy today. Just real quick, want to give you a little context. Amy Pearson is a brilliant coach who I started working with about 3 years ago or so. She's a really cool program called Live Brazen. And in many ways, there's some parallels to what I'm now offering in this progress mapping, in that at the time, I had this sense that I really wanted to do something different with my life, and that I had a mission to fulfill in terms of, using my life story, my pain and suffering in service of something greater and being able to help other people. And I didn't exactly know what that looked like. And so a lot of the work that I did with Amy was in trying to identify and get some clarity around that. And that's what happened, and in a sense evolved from me launching an online sanctuary called Sanctuary, which is a safe place online for people to share the things that are hard to talk about, to kind of go from that to Map Your Progress, which has a lot in common with Sanctuary, in that this is about having a safe place where we can be exactly who we are and say what's true and be able to take steps towards the things we want and move in the direction we want to go, all with a lot of love and compassion. So anyhow, Amy has been a wonderful influence and now dear friend in my life. And I just wanted to acknowledge you for your contribution, because ultimately it has led to us being here today. I know, right? It's beautiful. And I'm just grateful. And so I thought you're perfect person to be launching this Progress Party series with. And I so appreciate your support with all things mapping. And I wanted to give you a chance to kind of share a little bit too about what you've been up to with the mapping, and anything that has been challenging, the victories, what's feeling good. If you have any advice for other mappers, would love to hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm just honored to be here. I think I might just be your #1 fan, but not. I think I'm probably the head of the fan club. I'm just
so sweet.
I don't know. I'm just grateful that you're out there doing your thing, because you're such a light. So yeah, it is. I love the progress maps. In fact, I didn't mean to time it this way, but I was the blog that I'm doing that's going out tomorrow. I actually just posted it. It's featuring one of your progress maps that I'm working on.
Oh, nice.
Like it's
beautiful.
Yeah, and one of the blog is about like 12 double dog dares for
you nice.
in 2016. And One of them is to do something, the same thing, like create a habit. By, you know, and I mentioned that progress maps are a great way to do that. And gosh, you know, I love the whole concept of progress maps on so many different levels. In fact, I'm just working on one now. I think this is a 90-day, right? Does that look like a...
that, you know, it might be 100 swirl heart, actually.
Well, so this is mapping. So I'm a fan of this one type of yoga called Kundalini yoga. And I just, like you can see that I've embarked on a new series of Kundalini that I do in the morning. And I started on the first, which I don't know, I think it just gives momentum to me, but it's, you know, it's, I just think for me, using the maps, especially when when it takes a lot of resolve, right? Like, has really helped me. As an example, I've been wanting to do, they say that if you do something for 40 days, it creates a habit. And I love the idea that you can create good habits. You know, we all have our bad habits. Why not? You can't really, and I was reading some research on it, and apparently it's difficult to get rid of a habit, but you can replace it with a different habit.
For sure.
So I love the idea of that, but I've been working on trying to do the same series of yoga for 40 days in a row, because that's the way you're supposed to do it in Kundalini. If you miss a day, you start the entire thing over. And I've been struggling with that. I've been struggling with that. So I've been able to get through like the week, but then when the weekends come, something happens and I get busy and I don't do it. Well, since I started using the progress maps, and I started on the first, and there was no school, I just noticed it's been really helpful for me to have the map, because I just think about it. I think, oh, now I can, you know, now I get to color a different swirl. I get to color another swirl. And the perfectionist in me really does not want to miss a swirl. Right.
And so for those of you that are watching and, you know, Map Progress is new, what Amy's referring to is that, you know, Map Progress includes tools that are actual, what I call maps, and they're designs made up of these little swirls. And Amy, I think I have your heart actually here too, just happen to. And each swirl represents a small action that we take toward our goal. So what Amy was sharing is that, you know, when she does her Kundalini yoga each day, then she colors in a swirl to celebrate that she did it and has a visual reminder of her progress. And I completely relate as a recovering perfectionist. And I know I've heard from a lot of you that feel the same, that when you see that representation, there's something very motivating about wanting to just do whatever the action is so that you get to color in your swirl.
Yeah. Well, and I think because the maps are so beautiful, right? And it's like I think the fans of your work, we really like the idea of creating art. And maybe I'm not speaking for everyone, but I know for me, like, I want to be able to create the art and I don't want the blank space.
Right.
And so it's like motivating for me.
Yeah.
And you know, here's the thing, like, I'm a life coach. I've been at it for 7 years, been helping people with, you know, this stuff. And I know some things about it, but the thing is, right, use whatever works. Like, just, whatever works. Like, if it's because you don't want a blank space, then, you know, go with it. Go with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you know, for me, and why this came about is that I had a ton of debt, over $26,000 worth of debt, and I absolutely needed to take a different approach. I needed, you know, something that seemed dreadful and overwhelming in terms of paying that off to be fun and more beautiful and playful. And I know it needed to be something that was like top of mind, so that I would be reminded. And I thought that the artwork would be a great reminder. And I think what's great too is that, you know, we're not perfect people. That's just not an option if you're a human, even if we strive for that. And so what's cool about the maps is that as you are making progress and you're coloring in those swirls, when you have a day where it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you can be reminded of what you have done. and that you have made progress. You are moving in that direction, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love
it's it's much more fun than the previous way.
I like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I really like the idea too that the maps are things that you can see and you can, you know what's happening. Like, you don't necessarily have to share what it's about with other people who see it. Like, you can, I keep mine, I notice I keep mine on my desk for easy coloring, but I think, you know, if you just, whatever, if people see them or they're on display or they're on your wall, it's like you are reminded, but you can also keep it private if you want, or you don't necessarily have to. But it's for you. It's something that is for you. And I just think that's really powerful.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because I think it's, I mean, at the root of progress mapping and Map Your Progress, it's all about self-love, self-care. And, you know, this is ultimately whatever it is that you're working toward and taking those next right steps and small actions toward it, that is an act of self-love and of wanting something for yourself. And I think that it's appropriate to have certain boundaries in place, and that there may be people in your life that won't get it or don't know how to be supportive, or whatever the reason is. You just don't feel safe in sharing the details of, like, hey, I'm up to, you know, paying off my debt or whatever that is. It's totally fine. I know we have some mappers who have their maps like on the inside of a closet door, or, you know, kind of like tucked away so that it's not immediately obvious. Or for some of them, you know, they do have it in a conspicuous place, but if somebody that doesn't feel quite safe or is not the right person asks about them, then you can just be like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's this coloring thing that I'm doing. You know, you don't have to get into any level of detail that doesn't feel right for you, right? Because it's super important to make sure that the people that you're allowing to support you are, you know, constructive and can cheer you on. And for the people that aren't, that we, you know, keep enough of a boundary that doesn't get in the way of where we're trying to go.
Yeah, that's so huge, because there are people, I mean, people who are mapping are, like you said, you know, I was able to listen to the folks who were introducing themselves earlier, and, you know, I can't remember who it was who said she didn't want to let you down. Elizabeth, and you said, you know, just showing up. And so people who are mapping, whether we have blank spaces or not, like, it's a special thing. I just think that we're surrounded, it's by people who kind of believe that you know, they kind of have to just be okay with where they are, who are settling, who would, you know, who don't get it, who don't get that, you know, we're here, let's make the most of our time here, and so mappers are special, and unfortunately, we do have to create boundaries, and we do have to make sure that we're sharing with people who would support us, because of that negativity bias, you know, that instinct of us to kind of glob onto the negative. You know, I just find with me, like, if I hear one negative thing, and my dear husband of, I don't know, 20-something years, I love him dearly, but even these people, you know, that are supportive most of the time can find ways to you know, think they're helping, but really finding ways to kind of shoot things down. So that piece is so important, and it is totally okay to set boundaries and talk to, and not share with
Absolutely.
people.
It is okay, and it is a good, wise, healthy thing to do. And yeah, it's nice that mapping kind of gives us some flexibility. So I see Brandon has a question, and he's asking, what is mapping? Which is a great question. So when we say mapping, we're referring to a technique called progress mapping. And Amy, if you wouldn't mind holding up your map once more for a lovely visual. So these drawings are made up of swirls. This is something I've created. I call them creative progress maps. And essentially, it's a visual representation of a larger goal. And so each swirl represents a small action that you would take toward that goal. And so, for example, in Amy's case, she's started a new Kundalini practice. And so each of those swirls that are colored in represents a day where she did her Kundalini yoga, right? And so she's just started in this new year. You're doing great. And the idea is that she has that map in a visible place where she can see it. She has it at her desk, and it's a lovely visual reminder to her each day of her wanting to do her yoga and celebrating the fact that she did it. So she's also holding up another map. This is the calendar. It's 365 swirls. It's designed specifically for a goal that you want to do on a daily basis. And so whatever that goal is, I mean, it could be improving, health or finances or really anything. Look at you. I love it. I think that might be a 25 swirl. And I think maybe that's like a 35. I don't know. I have 18 different hearts that I've drawn. So they're each unique and have some different characteristics. And yeah, so depending on what your goal is and like how you want to break it down into small actions, if it's, something like a 25 swirl for maybe a shorter project or, I have.
They're not all hearts either. Amy, behind you is
Yes.
that beautiful
one. So let me, you're right. It's tricky, like figuring out where do I go? I don't know. So that one is actually a custom one that I've done for myself. That is a canvas that I have on my wall, and I'm doing it a little bit differently where when I write something or, draw a piece of art, then I create a swirl. And so I'm creating that one for myself. But I do have, I have my calendar as well. And this represents my, oh, good. This looks large. This is like an 18 by 24, but it's a canvas, and this is on mapofprogress.com. This represents my daily meditation. And so you can see that I'm off to a good start. This is, this is January. So each day so far, I've done my meditation. And so then I celebrate that by coloring in the swirl that correlates with the date. So yeah, Brandon, I hope that answered your question. That is kind of the nutshell version of progress mapping, which is the technique. Mapyourprogress.com. Yes, that's where you can go and find out not only more about how it works, but also all the available designs. You can get them as downloads, as fancy prints, or what I call them. It's like a beautiful museum quality archival paper that you can also frame, or you can get them on the canvas. So yeah.
I need to get some on the canvas.
It's pretty sweet. It's like, legitimately, it's very high quality. And I've seen a bunch of different canvases, but it's like 1.5 inch thick wood. It's super solid, and the print quality is beautiful. So canvas ones are great for like the longer term or bigger goals.
I think the canvas are good too, because it's just like, for me, I think if I had it on canvas, I would be even more resolved.
I know, right? Yeah, no, I'll hear that from people where they're like, oh, I don't want to screw it up. I don't, what if I color it wrong?
Yeah,
what if I color outside the lines? And it's like, sweetheart, it's okay. This is a practice. Yeah. This is a practice of self-love. So it gets to be okay. Yeah. You get to just show up and do the best you can. And there are no progress mapping police that are coming to your door to fine you or ticket you. Yeah, like, no, this is, basically how you relate to your map says a lot about how you relate to yourself and how much you are going to allow yourself to win, or, how much leeway you give yourself as you're setting out to go after whatever you want to. So that part is really fun for me to be able to support you guys in that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try these progress parties, so that you have an opportunity to ask me questions and to be able to sit down, so to speak, like Amy is here with me, and we can see each other and actually have a conversation. So I'm excited to be able to do this. We're doing this every Wednesday in January, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. And I just want to check in and see if there's anybody with us that wants to ask a question. If you want to sit down and for us to be able to see and chat with you, you can just click, I don't know if it says call open seat. I see open seat. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head if it says call.
That's true. I can't remember either. It was call or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys.
This is the first time I've ever blabbed.
I know, right? Oh, thank you, Brandon. it says call in. So if you want to call in, if you have a question for me, if you have something to share, I know we have some mappers who are here today that maybe you've already gotten started, and it's totally cool if you just want to share some of the tiny victories, how it's been going for you, or if you have any questions.
Comedian Mocha, she says Amy needs a map for every time she gets a map.
Oh my God, truth. It's like taking over my life. I mean, I had to build a business around my life because this is it, people. Like, I live it. There's nothing fake going on here. This is how it is. And this is what I do on a daily basis.
I think it's cool to get, like, I think, like, I saw your last year's meditation map, and it didn't have every swirl colored in. I think it's really cool but like, it's neat to see when you go back, like, well, I didn't meditate every day, but wow, like, I meditated much more than I thought I did. I think we don't often give ourselves credit for what we do, and it's neat to be able to see that visually.
Yes, it's an important point. And, I consider myself a recovering perfectionist. And this is something that comes up for me on a daily basis. And just even last night, I ended up doing my meditation pretty late at night, like right before I went to bed. And I remember thinking, because I was kind of tired, and I thought, do I do it, or do I just accept the blank swirl? Is it okay for me just to let that go? And that it just didn't happen. I accept the blank swirl. I do not beat myself up for it. I do not make it like a thing. I can be proud.
I love my blank swirl. I love my blank swirl.
I love swirls of all colors, and no color at all. And so, it was, it happens and it's okay. And I ended up being like, I'll just do like a lazy meditation is how I think of it. And I'll just lay in bed and listen to my thing, and then cool. But, there's days when I'm just like, it's just not happening today. It's for whatever reason. It doesn't need to be a big deal, because you have, tomorrow's tomorrow and you get to start again. And what's more important to me than you reaching your goal, than, how many people use maps, is that you are practicing being kind to yourself, and you are learning how to be with yourself and how to be able to move forward in the direction that you want to go and create a life that you want, while also enjoying the life that you have right now and enjoying the process of that. Because I just don't believe that it really serves us if we have an idea, some sort of abstract concept of like, when I reach my goal out here, whenever that is, then I get to be happy. Then I get to be proud of myself. Then I get to be, a person who has their shit together, like whatever. No, you get to be that now. And that's really what I'm passionate about teaching, is that being that, giving yourself the opportunities to feel the things that you want to feel as you are making your way toward your goals. Like, that is just wonderful in and of itself. And you get to feel good now, instead of having it, be something that's delayed that, you may or may not get to. So I get fired up.
I love that point. I love goals. I'm huge into goals. I love them. In fact, I call myself a recovering approval addict, because I used to be addicted to trying to get people to approve of me or avoid people rejecting me. But now I'm addicted to success. And a big part of that is goals. But one of the things that gets me really high is like the tiny act every day of doing something to close the gap between where I am and where I want to be. And that's what I focus on.
Right.
And I create the goal, but it's really not about the end result. It's about that in-between stuff that happens that does, I think there's even research that says that, the act of completion, right? Like giving yourself the gift of that piece, whether it's just just some tiny little thing, really can create endorphins in the brain. And I should also say that I'm 2 years sober. But, that is really what it's about. I think that's what the progress maps do, is they help us to focus on the process and not whether or not we did it, and making that mean something. Like, enjoy the act of getting there more than you do the end result. And that's what I love about these progress maps.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm coming to you all from Southern California. We just had our second earthquake of the day right now. Just as we're sitting here talking, another earthquake. So bless us here in Southern California and our shaky earth. But yes, I love what you said about the process. I've just found this to be true for myself, that it sounds counterintuitive, but it's like the more freedom you give yourself around, what you do on a daily basis, and the more forgiving and compassionate you are of yourself, it's amazing. It creates space that allows you to then kind of move forward, and that allows there to be a place where you are inspired or motivated in a way to take that next right step, and those small actions that doesn't come from the perspective of, I have to do this. There's something wrong with me. I need to fix myself. I can't be happy until I get this. Like all that stuff that we, kind of carry that's so heavy around it. When we just celebrate what we do, and when we're kind to ourselves, it's like this amazing sort of thing that happens where you have access to a lot more, and to feeling better and being the best version of yourself in the process. So it's kind of fun. It's like the magic of the map.
Amen.
Amen. Yes. Well, guys, I am so happy to be hanging out with you. And I just want to extend the invitation again for anybody that's joined us. Since if you have any questions for me, if you want to, as Brandon said, call in, you are very welcome to do so. I also want to remind you that we are going to be doing this every Wednesday in January. This is our first one. And so if you want to come in next week and you have questions for me, you want to share anything, this is an opportunity for you to, have me be able to support you. So I just want you all to know that no matter what it is, I would love to hear from you, and you are welcome to hang out. So Amy, thank you so much for being here. And
I'm glad I was able to get on.
I know, right? I know. Yes, it's every once in a while.
Like, all these people are on. Why can't I get on this thing?
I know, right? Yeah.
I switched to my browser and it worked.
Oh, so. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
it's just an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course.
And nice to be here with your people. Such a fun resource to have.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, my dear. So appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you listening. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week, next Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we can blab some more. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.